Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's IELTS Writing Masterclass. Thank you for joining me here. Whether you're preparing for the academic test or the general training version, today's session is going to be extremely valuable because we're focusing on what many candidates find to be the most challenging part of the IELTS exam, Writing Task 2. Now, let's start with a simple truth. Writing Task 2 is predictable. The examiners may change the exact wording of the question, but the themes, the ideas, the structure, they all repeat. If you study carefully, if you learn how to organize your thoughts, and if you prepare strong vocabulary for the most common topics, you can walk into the exam room with confidence. You won't be surprised and you'll be ready to score very high, even Band 8 or Band 9. So what is Writing Task 2? It is a formal academic essay of at least 250 words. You'll be asked to respond to a point of view, a problem, or an argument. You'll need to present your ideas clearly, support them with evidence or examples, and develop them logically. And remember, the examiner is not testing your knowledge of the world. They are testing how you express your ideas in English. You don't need to be an expert on global politics or advanced science. You just need to write in a clear, coherent, and accurate way. The IELTS Writing Task 2 is scored using 4 criteria, and each one is worth 25%. Let me explain these briefly. The first is task response. This means you must answer the question fully. If you go off topic or give a partial answer, your score will drop. The second is coherence and cohesion. This is about the logical flow of your essay and the use of linking words. Your writing should be easy to follow, with clear paragraphs. The third is lexical resource. This refers to your vocabulary. To reach a high band score, you need precise and flexible word choice. Finally, we have grammatical range and accuracy. The examiner looks at your sentence structures, your use of tenses, and how often you make mistakes. So when we talk about reaching Band 9, we are really talking about mastering these 4 areas. And the good news is, with the right templates and practice, you can cover them all. Now let's talk about the topics. Over the years, IELTS examiners have used hundreds of different questions, but the reality is that they fall into about 8 broad categories. If you prepare ideas for these categories, you will be ready for almost any question. The first category is education. This is the #1 topic in IELTS writing. You may be asked about the role of teachers, the value of university education, online learning, or whether children should study practical skills. The second is environment. Climate change, pollution, renewable energy, protecting endangered species, these are all common. The third category is health. Questions here often focus on public health, the responsibility of individuals versus governments, or modern health problems such as obesity. The fourth topic is technology. This is extremely frequent and it can connect with almost any other topic. For example, technology in education, technology in health, or the influence of social media. The fifth is globalization. This can include international trade, culture, and the spread of English as a global language. The sixth is crime and law. Typical questions might ask whether punishment or rehabilitation is more effective or how to reduce juvenile crime. The seventh is government and society. Here you may see questions about public services, taxation, or the government's role in improving quality of life. Finally, the eighth topic is culture and tradition. This includes preserving cultural heritage, the influence of tourism, or balancing modern life with traditional customs. If you sit down before your exam and prepare vocabulary, arguments, and examples for these 8 areas, you will never face a question that feels unfamiliar. That's why I call these the golden topics of IELTS. But here's the challenge. Even if you have good ideas, you need to express them in a clear academic essay. This is where many students lose marks. They might have strong opinions, but their essays are disorganized. Or they know good vocabulary, but they don't use it accurately. Or they write too generally without examples. That's why today I'm going to give you Band 9 essay templates. These templates will act like a map. When you see a question, you don't need to panic. You can just follow the steps of the template, insert your own ideas, and create a high-level essay. Now, let me make something very clear. A template is not a memorized essay. If you memorize an entire essay and try to use it in the exam, the examiner will see it immediately and you will lose marks. But if you use a template as a structure, like an outline, it helps you stay organized and focused. For example, you'll know exactly what to write in the introduction, what to write in the first body paragraph, what to write in the second body paragraph, and how to write a strong conclusion. Think of it like building a house. The template is the skeleton, the framework. Your ideas are the bricks, the furniture, the decoration. Without the skeleton, the house would collapse. But without the bricks and decoration, the skeleton would be empty. You need both. So in today's lesson, after this introduction, I will show you the 4 most common essay types in IELTS Writing Task 2. They are the opinion essay, the discussion essay, the problem solution essay, and the advantages, disadvantages essay. For each one, I will give you a Band 9 template and example sentences that you can adapt to any topic. By the end of this session, you will know how to recognize the essay type from the question, use the right structure, insert your own ideas into that structure, and finally, write a coherent academic essay that impresses the examiner. Also, we dive into the templates. Let me share one final piece of advice. Always spend 3 to 5 minutes planning your essay before you write. Many students make the mistake of starting immediately, and halfway through they realize their ideas don't connect or they don't have enough examples. Those few minutes of planning will save you a lot of stress. So, to summarize what we've covered so far in this introduction, Writing Task 2 is predictable and follows clear patterns. The examiners mark you on 4 criteria: task response, coherence and cohesion, vocabulary, and grammar. The topics repeat, and the 8 most common are education, environment, health, technology, globalization, crime, government, and culture. Templates are your best tool to structure a Band 9 essay, but you must add your own ideas. All right, now that we've set the foundation, let's move to the next part of the lesson, the Band 9 essay templates. Now that we understand what Writing Task 2 is, how it is marked, and why students often struggle, let's move on to one of the most practical parts of today's session, the most common IELTS topics. When students first hear this, they are often surprised. They think IELTS can ask about anything: science, politics, history, economics. And yes, the exam covers a wide range of ideas. But in reality, if we analyze past exam questions over the last 10 to 15 years, we see the same areas repeating again and again. There are 8 golden topics that you must prepare for. If you have strong vocabulary, arguments, and examples for these 8 topics, you will be ready for 95% of IELTS Writing Task 2 questions. Let's go through them one by one. Education. Education is the #1 topic in IELTS Writing Task 2. You may be asked questions about schools, universities, teachers, exams, online learning, or even the role of parents in education. For example, some people believe university education should be free. Others think students should pay for their own studies. Discuss both views and give your opinion. A Band 9 approach here would be to show balance. Yes, free education increases equal opportunity, but paid education can ensure quality and reduce government burden. Useful vocabulary, lifelong learning, curriculum design, educational equity, academic achievement, vocational training, literacy rates, digital classrooms. Sample Band 9 sentence: providing free university education can democratize knowledge and allow talented students from disadvantaged backgrounds to contribute to society. Environment. The environment is another extremely frequent topic. Examiners love to test whether students can discuss global issues such as climate change, pollution, and sustainability. Typical question. Some people believe individuals should take responsibility for protecting the environment, while others think governments should be in charge. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Here, you could argue that individual actions like recycling and reducing waste are important, but large-scale issues like carbon emissions require government policies. Useful vocabulary: carbon footprint, renewable energy, sustainable development, deforestation, greenhouse gases, conservation, ecological balance. Band 9 sentence: Although individual lifestyle changes can reduce waste, only government regulations on industries can significantly lower carbon emissions.
3. Health questions often focus on public health problems such as obesity, smoking, exercise, or healthcare systems. Example: some people believe prevention is better than cure. To what extent do you agree? Here you could argue that prevention saves money and reduces suffering, but treatment is still necessary because some diseases cannot be avoided. Vocabulary: preventive healthcare, public awareness campaigns, sedentary lifestyle, balanced diet, mental health, medical infrastructure, life expectancy. Band 9 sentence: investing in preventive healthcare, such as promoting physical activity and balanced nutrition, is more cost-effective than treating widespread diseases later. Fourth, technology. Technology is one of the most versatile topics. It can connect with education, health, communication, even culture. Example: some people believe that technology has made our lives more complicated, while others think it has made life easier. Discuss both views and give your opinion. A balanced argument might say that while technology saves time and increases convenience, it also creates dependency and digital stress. Vocabulary: digital revolution, artificial intelligence, social media platforms, automation, data privacy, virtual reality, innovation. Band 9 sentence: although technological innovation has simplified communication across borders, it has simultaneously raised concerns about privacy and digital addiction. 5. Globalization. Globalization often appears in connection with trade, travel, or cultural exchange. Example: globalization has positive effects on economic growth, but negative effects on cultural identity. To what extent do you agree? You could argue that globalization improves trade and employment, but risks cultural homogenization. Vocabulary: cultural exchange, economic integration, international trade, global market, cultural erosion, cross-cultural communication. Band 9 sentence: while globalization has accelerated economic development through international trade, it has also threatened traditional customs by promoting a uniform global culture. 6. Crime and law. This topic deals with justice, punishment, rehabilitation, and social order. Example: some people believe that longer prison sentences are the best way to reduce crime, while others think there are better solutions. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Here you could argue that prison may deter crime, but education and rehabilitation reduce reoffending. Vocabulary: rehabilitation programs, deterrent effect, juvenile delinquency, restorative justice, law enforcement, social reintegration. Band 9 sentence: although strict punishment may temporarily deter crime, long-term safety depends on rehabilitation and reintegration programs. 7. Government and society. Here the focus is on government responsibilities, taxation, public services, and social welfare. Example: some people believe governments should spend money on public services, not on arts and culture. To what extent do you agree? A good response could argue that basic services like healthcare are essential, but culture also builds identity and unity. Vocabulary: public infrastructure, welfare systems, taxation policies, democratic accountability, social equality, civic responsibility. Band 9 sentence: while allocating funds to healthcare and education is vital for citizens' welfare, investing in arts fosters national identity and social cohesion. 8. Culture and tradition. Finally, culture and tradition. These topics usually explore the balance between preserving traditions and adapting to modern life. Example: many people believe traditional culture will be lost as technology develops. Do you agree or disagree? You could argue that traditions may change, but they can also adapt and survive in new forms. vocabulary, cultural heritage, ancestral customs, modernization, cultural preservation, intangible heritage, generational identity. Band 9 sentence. Although modernization influences cultural practices, traditions can be preserved by integrating them into education and media. So let's recap. The 8 golden topics are education, environment, health, technology, globalization, crime and law, government and society, and culture and tradition. If you prepare arguments and vocabulary for these 8 areas, you'll never be surprised in the exam. Even if the wording of the question looks unusual, you'll recognize the underlying theme and already have ideas ready. Now that we've covered the most common topics, the next step is to understand how to organize your answers. That's where Band 9 templates come in. In Part 3 of today's session, we'll go through the 4 main essay types: opinion essays, discussion essays, problem-solution essays, and advantages-disadvantages essays. I'll show you step-by-step templates and sample sentences that you can adapt to any topic. Now that we've covered the most common IELTS topics, let's move on to something equally important: how to structure your essay. Here's the truth. Even if you have great ideas and vocabulary, if your essay is not well organized, you won't get Band 9. IELTS examiners are trained to look for coherence, cohesion, and logical progression. That means your essay needs a clear introduction, well-developed body paragraphs, and a strong conclusion. The best way to guarantee this is by using templates. When I say templates, I don't mean memorizing essays. That doesn't work because IELTS changes the wording of questions. Instead, I mean flexible structures, sentence starters, and frameworks you can adapt to any topic. There are 4 main essay types in IELTS writing. Opinion essays are the most common type. The question usually asks, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Do you agree or disagree? The key here is to make your opinion clear from the very beginning. Introduction 1. Paraphrase the question. 2. State your opinion. Agree, disagree, or partly agree. 3. Outline your main points. Example starter. The issue of whether governments should provide free university education has sparked heated debate. Personally, I strongly agree that higher education should be accessible to all because it promotes equality and supports national development. Body paragraph 1. Topic sentence. Your first reason for your opinion. Explanation. Expand with detail. Example. Provide a real or hypothetical example. Example. Firstly, free university education promotes social mobility. Students from low-income families who cannot afford tuition fees would gain equal opportunities. For instance, in countries like Germany, free higher education has allowed talented individuals to contribute significantly to science and industry. Body paragraph 2. Topic sentence. Your second reason. Explanation. Expand. Example. Example. Secondly, when education is widely accessible, the economy benefits. A well-educated workforce drives innovation and increases productivity. A good example is South Korea, where government investment in education transformed the nation into a global economic power. Optional body paragraph 3 for partly agree essays. Acknowledge the opposing side, but explain why your view is stronger. Example. Admittedly, funding free education may burden governments financially. However, the long-term economic and social benefits outweigh the initial costs. Conclusion. Restate your opinion clearly. Summarize key points. Example. In conclusion, I firmly believe that free university education is essential. It not only provides equal opportunities, but also strengthens the economy in the long run. 2. Discussion essays. Discuss both views. Discussion essays usually ask, discuss both views and give your opinion. These require balance. You must discuss both sides before giving your own opinion. Band 9. Template for discussion essay. Introduction 1. Paraphrase the question. Second, state that you will discuss both views. 3. Give your opinion, either balanced or leaning to one side. Example starter. Some argue that governments should invest in space exploration, while others believe funds should be spent on public services. This essay will examine both perspectives before explaining why I believe investment in public services is more urgent. Body paragraph 1. First view topic sentence. Explain the argument. Example. Supporters of space exploration argue that it promotes scientific progress. Discoveries made in space often have applications on Earth. For example, satellite technology has revolutionized communication and weather forecasting. Body paragraph 2. Second view topic sentence. Explain the argument. Example. On the other hand, critics believe that resources should be focused on urgent social needs such as healthcare and education. Millions of people still lack access to basic services. For instance, in many developing nations, investment in hospitals could save countless lives. Body paragraph 3. Your opinion. State your view clearly. Support it with reasons. Example. Although space research has potential benefits, I believe governments should prioritize solving problems on Earth first. Public services directly affect people's quality of life and should therefore take precedence. Conclusion. Summarize both views. Restate your opinion. Example. In conclusion, while space exploration can advance technology, public services are more pressing and deserve greater investment. Third problem-solution essays. These essays ask, what are the problems and solutions? Discuss the causes and suggest solutions. The structure is very straightforward. 1 paragraph for problems, 1 for solutions. Band 9. Template for problem-solution essay. Introduction 1. Paraphrase the question. Second, state that you will discuss problems and solutions. Example starter. Childhood obesity has become a serious issue in many countries. This essay will examine the main causes of this problem before suggesting possible solutions. Body paragraph 1. Problems, causes, topic sentence. Explain 1 to 2 main causes. One of the main causes of childhood obesity is poor diet. Fast food is widely available and heavily marketed to children. Another factor is a lack of physical activity, as many young people spend hours playing video games instead of exercising. Body paragraph 2. Solutions topic sentence. Suggest solutions. Explain how they work. To tackle these issues, governments should regulate junk food advertising aimed at children. Schools should also encourage healthy lifestyles by providing nutritious meals and organizing sports activities. For example, Japan has successfully reduced childhood obesity by combining school lunch programs with daily exercise. Conclusion. Summarize the problem and solutions. Restate importance. Example. In conclusion, childhood obesity results mainly from unhealthy diets and sedentary lifestyles, but it can be reduced through government regulations and school initiatives. 4. Advantages, disadvantages essays. These essays ask, what are the advantages and disadvantages? Do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Here, balance is key. But if the question asks which side outweighs, you must give your clear judgment. Band 9. Template for advantages, disadvantages essay. Introduction 1. Paraphrase the question. Second, state that you will discuss both sides. 3. If asked, say whether one outweighs the other. Example starter. The rise of online shopping has transformed consumer habits. This essay will outline both the benefits and drawbacks of this trend before arguing that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. Body paragraph 1. Advantages topic sentence. Example. Online shopping offers greater convenience. Consumers can buy products from the comfort of their homes, saving time and effort. Additionally, online platforms often provide cheaper prices. For instance, many customers find electronics more affordable online than in physical stores. Body paragraph 2. Disadvantages topic sentence. Explain disadvantage X. Example. However, there are drawbacks. Customers cannot physically examine products, which sometimes leads to disappointment. Moreover, the rise of e-commerce has harmed small local businesses. For example, many independent bookstores have closed due to competition from online retailers. Body paragraph 3. Evaluation. If outweighs is asked, weigh both sides. State which is stronger. Example. Despite these disadvantages, the benefits of convenience and affordability are more significant. The growth of online shopping reflects changing lifestyles, and its positive impact on consumer choice outweighs the negative effects. Conclusion. Restate the main balance. Give final judgment. Example. In conclusion, although online shopping may hurt small businesses, its convenience and cost-effectiveness make it overall more beneficial. Before we finish part 3, let me share some important reminders. 1. Always analyze the question carefully. Don't rush. Identify whether it's opinion, discussion, problem solution, or advantages, disadvantages. 2. Stay on topic. If you write off topic, even perfect English won't save you. 3. Be balanced. IELTS values nuanced arguments, not extreme or one-sided thinking. 4. Use linking words naturally. Phrases like, on the other hand, for instance, as a result, create flow. 5. Aim for clarity, not complexity. Band 9 writing is not about big words, it's about precise ideas and logical structure. So far, we've covered Introduction to Writing Task. Part 2, the most common topics. Part 3, Band 9 templates for each essay type. In the final part, Part 4, we'll put everything together. I'll show you how to use these templates with real exam questions and demonstrate how to upgrade your essay from Band 6 to Band 9. Now that we've covered the introduction, common topics, and Band 9 templates, it's time for the most practical and exciting part of today's lesson. Using these tools to write real Band 9 essays. In this part, we'll focus on 1. How to analyze a question quickly. 2. Planning an essay in 3 to 5 minutes. 3. Writing introductions, body paragraphs, and conclusions using Band 9 templates. 4th. Practical demonstration with real past IELTS questions. 5. How to upgrade a Band 6 to 7 essay to Band 9. By the end of this section, you'll have a complete roadmap to approach any Writing Task 2 question with confidence. Step 1. Analyzing the question. The very first step in writing. Task 2 is to read the question carefully. Many students make the mistake of jumping straight into writing. This often leads to off-topic essays or weak structure. Here's what to do. 1. Identify the essay type. Is it opinion, discussion, problem solution, or advantages, disadvantages? 2. Highlight keywords. Words like causes, solutions, advantages, disadvantages, agree, disagree, discuss both views. 3. Decide your position. If it's an opinion essay, you must decide your stance. Even discussion essays need a subtle opinion in the conclusion. Let's see an example. Question. Some people think that advertising encourages us to buy things we do not need. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Essay type. Opinion. Agree, disagree. Keywords. Advertising encourages, buy things do not need. Decide position. I will partly agree because advertising influences behavior, but consumers also make conscious choices. Notice how quickly you can identify the type and position. This is crucial before planning your essay. Step 2. Planning your essay, 3 to 5 minutes. Planning is often underestimated. A short 3 to 5 minute plan can save 15 to 20 minutes later and drastically improve your score. Planning steps. 1. Introduction. Paraphrase. Question, state opinion. 2nd. Brainstorm 2 to 3 key ideas for each paragraph. 3. Examples. Think of a real-life or hypothetical example for each idea. Fourth conclusion. Decide how to summarize and restate opinion. Let's plan the previous question together. Question. Advertising encourages us to buy things we do not need. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Introduction. Paraphrase. State partly agree. Body one idea. Advertising creates desire through psychological techniques. Example: social media ads targeted at teenagers influence fashion purchases. Body two idea. Consumers still make conscious choices. Example: many people ignore ads and buy only essential items. Conclusion. Restate opinion. Agree in part, but responsibility is shared. Notice how planning gives a clear roadmap. Once you plan, writing becomes faster, coherent, and precise. Step 3. Writing a Band 9. Introduction. Let's write the introduction. Using the Band 9. Template for opinion essays. Template 1. Paraphrase the question. 2. State your opinion. 3. Outline key points example. Introduction. Advertising is an unavoidable feature of modern life, and some argue that it compels consumers to purchase unnecessary items. I partially agree with this view, as advertising does influence desires, but people still have the ability to make informed choices. Notice: paraphrased question, clear position, no opinion repetition, concise formal language. Step 4. Writing band. 9 body paragraphs. Body 1. First reason. Example. Firstly, advertising employs sophisticated psychological strategies that can manipulate consumer behavior. Companies design campaigns to appeal to emotions, suggesting that purchasing a product will improve social status or happiness. For instance, social media platforms often target teenagers with fashion advertisements, making them feel pressured to buy items to fit in. Body paragraph 2. Second reason explanation. However, consumers are not powerless. Many individuals make conscious decisions based on personal needs, budgets, and priorities. For example, while teenagers may see online ads for luxury shoes, most families prioritize essential items over trendy products, demonstrating that choice remains with the buyer. Notice: linking words. Firstly, however, for instance, balanced argument. Realistic examples. Step 5. Writing a band. 9 conclusion template. Restate opinion. Summarize main points. Example in conclusion: while advertising can influence consumer behavior, it does not fully dictate purchasing decisions. People still exercise judgment and make deliberate choices, highlighting that the responsibility is shared between advertisers and consumers. Notice how this ties back to the introduction and provides a clear, formal ending. How to upgrade a band. 6 to 7 essay to band 9. Many students write decent essays but get band 6 to 7 due to common issues. Let's see how to fix them. Common problems and solutions. 1. Problem: weak introduction, unclear opinion. Solution: use template, paraphrase question, clearly state opinion. 2. Problem: short paragraphs, underdeveloped ideas. Solution: always explain and give examples, 2 to 3 sentences each. 3. Problem: repetitive vocabulary. Solution: prepare topic-specific words, use synonyms naturally. 4th problem: grammar mistakes. Solution: use simple and complex sentences correctly. Avoid overcomplicating. 5th problem: lack of linking words. Solution: use connectors like however, furthermore, in contrast, for instance. By addressing these 5 areas, a band 6 to 7 essay can reach band 9s without changing the main ideas. Step 8. Practice questions. Interactive Zoom activity. Here's how we can practice live. 1. I will show a question. 2. You have 3 minutes to plan in the chat. Essay type, key ideas, examples. 3. Then I'll demonstrate writing a band 9, introduction and body paragraph using your ideas. Example. Question. Some people think that children should focus on academic subjects, while others believe they should also spend time on sports and arts. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Essay type. Discussion ideas brainstormed in chat. Perfect. I will then write introduction and first body paragraph live. This method allows you to immediately apply templates, plan efficiently, and produce a high-quality essay under timed conditions. Step 9. Key tips for writing band. 9 essays. 1. Spend 3 to 5 minutes planning. 2. Always analyze the question carefully. 3. Use essay type templates for structure. 4. Support every idea with an example. 5. Use a wide range of vocabulary but naturally. 6. Check grammar while writing. Avoid major errors. 7. Use formal academic style. Avoid casual language. 8. Link paragraphs logically. 9. Practice regularly with real past IELTS questions. 10. Time yourself to get used to 40-minute essays. Following these tips, plus using templates and topic preparation, will dramatically increase your chances of band 8 to 9. Remember, writing task 2 is not about memorizing essays. It's about thinking clearly, organizing your ideas, and expressing them in high-level English. Templates, vocabulary, and planning are your tools. Your ideas are the engine. If you practice consistently, use the Band 9 structures, and prepare for the golden topics, you will be ready to face any question confidently and efficiently. All right, everyone, we have reached the end of today's lesson. Let's quickly summarize what we learned. We started by looking at the different IELTS writing task. 2 essay types: opinion, discussion, problem solution, and advantages, disadvantages. Then we explored Band 9 templates, step by step, just like IELTS with Liz teaches. We also looked at sample introductions, body paragraphs, and conclusions, so you now know exactly how to structure your essay. The most important takeaway is this: templates are not for memorizing essays. They are tools to help you stay organized and confident in the exam. Use them as a skeleton, and then add your own ideas and examples to make your writing unique. Before we finish, I want to give you some homework. Choose one IELTS question from past tests, identify the essay type, and then write a full essay using today's template. Focus on using linking words and giving at least one strong example in each body paragraph. Remember, IELTS writing is a skill, and like any skill, the more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Thank you for joining me today. Keep practicing, keep writing, and I'll see you in the next session.